with you an experience that changed my life forever. It was an experience where I encountered Christ's love for me for the very first time. So I grew up in a very unstable home. My parents divorced when I was 5, and ever since then it's just been like a roller coaster of emotions, and I always felt like burdened and lost, and I never felt like I was a true daughter of Christ. I never really felt his true love for me through the sacrament of adoration. And going on from my background, after they split up, shortly after, my parents decided that they weren't able to take care of me like they should have been able to. So I was sent to live with my grandparents, which they were Catholic. I grew up Catholic, and I just went to Mass every Sunday, and I didn't really get very much out of the Mass. I know sometimes it can feel like when we're sitting there in Mass, it's like, ugh, when's it gonna be over? But like growing up in a Catholic family, you go to Mass every Sunday, and you kind of just go through the motions sometimes. And so that's how I lived for about half of my life, and my grandparents got too old, obviously. So I ended up moving in with my aunt and uncle so I could have a better lifestyle, which is where I'm at now, in Sioux Falls. So I was also Catholic when I lived in Sioux Falls. They were raised Catholic as well, and once again I was just going to church and not really getting too much out of it. And I was given the opportunity my freshman year of high school to go to a Steubenville conference, and it was the best decision of my entire life, let me tell you. I felt so much love and so much peace coming from everybody. Just the vibe was amazing at Steubenville. And Saturday night, there was Eucharistic adoration. It's the best night of my entire year. So we were sitting there at Eucharistic adoration, and like I said, I just felt burdened, and I didn't feel like I was worthy. I felt like I was lost and lonely, and at that point in my life, it had been 8 years since I had seen my parents. Sorry. It took me a while to finally understand that I was a daughter of Christ. And so I was sitting there in adoration that night, bawling my eyes out, on my knees, praying to Jesus, and I just felt this overcoming, like, I can't even describe the feeling to you. I felt this overcoming presence, and I just prayed over and over, come Lord Jesus, bring me home. And during adoration, the priest came around with the monstrance, and he walked towards my section, and the light beam like hit my eye, and it got my attention, and I looked at the monstrance, and another overwhelming sense of peace just came over me, and I heard from God, you are my daughter. I love you, and you are mine. That was a night that changed my entire life forever, and I'm never gonna forget the feeling that I once felt that night. And I encourage all of you tonight, as we go into Eucharist adoration, if you've never been to Eucharistic adoration, just take it, don't take it for granted. It's such an amazing sacrament. And I encourage you guys tonight to truly open your heart to Christ. No matter what you're going through, no matter what your past has been, just know that Jesus Christ is always going to be there for you. And like he says in Exodus 14:14, the Lord will fight for you. All you need is to be still. And if he can instill that love, Christ's true love for me, if he can instill that into my heart, think of the amazing possibilities that he can give to all of you tonight if you just decide to open your heart. Thank you.
Alex, thank you. That was a great sharing. And that experience of being loved by God the Father, that is really the identity, the heart of who we are. It's so easy. It's so easy to label ourselves and have other identities and other titles. You know, a lot of times, this has even happened this weekend. You know, people ask me,